Have you ever wondered how tofu is made? Tofu, a humble yet versatile food product, has a rich history that dates back more than 2,000 years. Originating in China, it has since found its way into the hearts and dishes of numerous cultures around the world. From the delicate silken tofu of Japan, to the firm and hearty tofu used in Korean stews, and even the flavorful tofu in Southeast Asian curries, it is a testament to the adaptability of this food. Not only is tofu a cultural chameleon, it's also a nutritional powerhouse, packed with protein and an excellent source of iron and calcium. But it's not just its nutritional value that makes it a favorite. Tofu's real charm lies in its incredible versatility. Whether baked, fried or simmered, it absorbs flavors like a sponge, making it a beloved ingredient among chefs and home cooks alike. But how is this versatile ingredient made? Let's delve into the fascinating process of tofu making. The journey of tofu begins with a humble bean, the soybean. These tiny, unassuming legumes hold within them the power to create a food as versatile and delicious as tofu. But not all soybeans are created equal. The quality of the soybeans used can dramatically affect the taste, texture, and nutritional value of the final product. There are thousands of varieties of soybeans, each with its unique characteristics. Some are sweeter, some are more bitter, some produce a creamier tofu, and some yield a firmer one. However, for tofu making, the most highly prized are the yellow soybeans, known for their rich, nutty flavor and high protein content. And it's not just about the type of soybean, but how it's grown matters too. Organic, non-GMO soybeans are often preferred for their superior taste and environmental benefits. Now that we have our soybeans ready, it's time to transform them into tofu. The first step in tofu making involves soaking and grinding the soybeans. As with many things in life, patience is key here. The soybeans are left to soak overnight, fully immersed in water. This waiting period is not idle time, for within the quiet beans a transformation is taking place. The water seeps into the beans, softening their hard shells and preparing them for the next stage. Once the beans have soaked up enough water, they swell to almost twice their original size. This expansion is a sign that the beans are ready to be ground. The soaked beans are then placed into a grinder, transforming them from their hardened state into a smooth, creamy pulp. This pulp, or slurry, forms the base of our tofu. Now you might be wondering, why is soaking so crucial? Well, soaking plays a pivotal role in determining the texture of the final product. It softens the beans, making them easier to grind and ensuring a smooth consistency in the pulp. More importantly, it allows the beans to absorb water. This absorbed water later contributes to the moisture content of the tofu, giving it that signature soft, silky texture. Grinding, on the other hand, breaks down the beans, releasing their nutrients and flavor. It also aids in the extraction of soy milk, the liquid that will eventually be turned into tofu. The finer the grind, the creamier the tofu. Fun fact about this process: the soaking and grinding method used in tofu making is quite similar to how traditional paper is made. In paper making, plant fibers are soaked and ground into a pulp, which is then pressed and dried to form paper. So, in a way, making tofu is like crafting edible paper from soybeans. With our soy pulp ready, we move on to the next step, cooking. But that's a story for another scene. For now, let's take a moment to appreciate the simple beauty of this process, where humble soybeans are transformed into something truly delicious. After grinding, the soy pulp undergoes a crucial process, cooking and curdling. Now let's delve into this fascinating phase, shall we? Cooking the soy pulp is an integral step, and it's as simple as it sounds. The ground soybeans are cooked in water at a high temperature. This heat treatment not only neutralizes harmful substances, but also brings out the nutty flavor we all love in tofu. Once the soy pulp is adequately cooked, it's time to separate the solids from the liquid. The liquid we obtain is rich, creamy soy milk, the foundation of our beloved tofu. And here comes the transformative part, curdling. Just as milk curdles to give us cheese, soy milk curdles to make tofu. But instead of bacterial action, we use a coagulant to curdle soy milk. Isn't that intriguing? Coagulants are like magical ingredients that cause the soy milk to separate into curds and whey. Commonly used coagulants are salts, acids, or enzymes. Each coagulant has its own unique properties, and the choice of coagulant can significantly influence the texture and taste of the final product. If you're going for a softer, silkier tofu, you might want to use a coagulant like gypsum. Yes, the same gypsum used in plaster of Paris. It's completely safe and gives tofu a delightful calcium boost. For a firmer, chewier tofu, nigari, a byproduct of sea salt, is the way to go. This coagulant imparts a slightly bitter taste, which is actually sought after for its depth of flavor. And if you're thinking of going the natural route, lemon juice or vinegar can do the trick. They result in a tangy tofu that's perfect for salads and stir-fries. In essence, the choice of coagulant is like an artist's palette, allowing you to create your unique version of tofu. It's an art, it's a science, and it's absolutely fascinating. Now that we have our curdled soy milk, it's time for the final step: shaping. The curdled soy milk is now ready to be shaped and pressed into tofu. At this stage, the transformation begins. Pouring the curdled soy milk into molds is akin to an artist sculpting a masterpiece from a block of marble. Each mold, a canvas for the creation of a unique tofu block, is filled with the curdled soy milk, which, although it may look unimpressive now, is about to undergo a remarkable transformation. Pressing is the next step in this tofu ballet. It's not just about brute strength, but finesse and timing. The press applies gentle but firm pressure to the curdled soy milk, squeezing out excess water. It's a delicate balance. Too little pressure and the tofu will be too soft. Too much and it will be too firm. This process is a bit like wringing out a sponge, but with a lot more subtlety and precision. This pressing process also determines the texture of the tofu. The longer the pressing time, the firmer the tofu. It's a bit like choosing the firmness of your mattress. Some people prefer their tofu soft and silky, while others like it firm and hearty. Then comes the fun part, the shaping. Tofu isn't just confined to boring blocks, oh no. It can be shaped into all sorts of fun and interesting forms. Tofu can be round, square, or even shaped like a flower or a star. The possibilities are limited only by the shape of the mold and the imagination of the tofu maker. The final step is to remove the tofu from the mold. It's a moment of anticipation, like unwrapping a present. The tofu block, now firm and holding its shape, is gently eased out of the mold, revealing its final form. Tofu making is a blend of science and art, a process that transforms simple soybeans into a versatile and nutritious food. It's a journey of transformation that takes patience, skill, and a dash of creativity. And there you have it, your block of tofu is ready. While we've covered the basics of tofu making, there are a few fun facts that you might find interesting. Firstly, did you know that tofu has been around for over 2,000 years? That's right, this versatile plant-based protein was invented in China during the Han Dynasty. The ancient Chinese discovered that a soy milk mixture could be curdled to form a tofu-like substance, similar to the way cheese is made from milk. This discovery has since spread across the globe, making tofu a staple in many diets today. Secondly, tofu comes in a variety of forms from silken to firm, and each has its own unique way of preparation. For instance, silken tofu is undrained and unpressed, giving it a high water content and a custard-like texture. On the other hand, firm tofu is pressed and has a lower water content, resulting in a solid texture that holds up well in stir-fries and grills. Thirdly, ever wondered what happens to the wastewater from tofu production? Well, it becomes a nutritious plant fertilizer. The water is rich in nutrients from the soybeans, so instead of discarding it, some tofu makers recycle it to nourish their plants. Talk about a sustainable cycle. Additionally, tofu is a great source of amino acids, iron and calcium. Plus, it contains no cholesterol and is low in calories. No wonder it's a popular choice for health-conscious individuals and those following a plant-based diet. Last but not least, the world record for the largest tofu cube ever made was set in Taiwan in 2017. The cube weighed an astonishing 2,268 kilograms. That's a lot of tofu. So whether you're a tofu lover or not, you've got to admit that the journey of a humble soybean to a block of tofu is quite remarkable. From its ancient origins to its nutritional benefits and even its role in sustainable farming, tofu is truly fascinating. And that, my friends, is the fascinating journey of a soybean turning into a block of tofu. So, to recap the process of tofu making, It all starts with the humble soybean, a powerhouse of nutrition that has been cultivated for centuries. These beans then take a bath, soaking up water to prepare for their transformation. The soaked beans are then ground to a pulp, extracting all their goodness in a creamy mixture. This mixture is cooked, and then the magic happens. A coagulant is added, causing it to curdle into a custardy consistency. This curd is then shaped and pressed, and voila, tofu is born. It's a process that requires skill, patience, and a deep respect for tradition. And let's not forget those fun facts. Did you know, for example, that tofu was discovered over 2,000 years ago, and it's still made using the same basic process today? Or that there are countless varieties of tofu, each with its own unique texture and flavor? Next time you enjoy a dish with tofu, remember the fascinating process it underwent to reach your plate. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring.